Hello and welcome to practice exercise 6.2 about presenting design concepts using the billboard. For this assignment, we were to focus on a learning environment that had been designed for an applied workplace and a mentoring experience. And we were to take key elements of that learning environment and create a few billboards that would include some sketches and prototypes that we could share with a friend or a colleague. I've developed 2 billboards off of that design model, and I shared it with a colleague of mine for feedback. And this is my screencast about my experiences. So I'm first going to walk through the elements of the billboard. This is the first one, this applied workplace experience. And the section of the design model that I selected was the experiential component, and there were 4 sections inside that experiential component. And as you can see from that middle building block, this is where the students will actually conduct customer experience interviews, and it's really based on what happened in the model previous, which was giving them some guidelines about how to conduct those interviews. So as you can see in the prototype section, the sketches over here, I've just included an icon that shows and demonstrates that students are actually conducting interviews that are kind of emulated based on the information that they have been provided in the previous building block. A couple things that I wanted to amplify in this the billboard, was to show how students would then participate in the 2 building blocks for feedback at the bottom, which was one was an experience journal where students would actually blog or journal their experiences from the interview, and also project mentor conversations where they would get together in a paired conversation and discuss the interviews and the outcomes. So I've included the images here where you could see that students could actually do a blog where they're engaging with their thoughts in an online setting, or they could do it with a paper pencil version in journaling, where they can reflect upon their experiences from the interview session. And then also next to that on the right, I've included some images here that show a mentor in conversation, and I've included some icons around that to demonstrate to the customer that in that particular mentor conversation, it can occur in a lot of different methods, and this gives the students some choice and autonomy on how they engage with their mentor. It could be via email, it could be via phone call, it could be in some kind of web conferencing environment, or it could be done in face-to-face based on what the mentor and the mentee decide to do for appropriate paired conversation and feedback. So at the top, though, the supervisor is actually built into this learning experience for specific feedback to the interview experience. And so as you can see from up here, the little icon indicating supervisor and student having a conversation there so they can provide feedback. But this could also be done in varying methods, from email, phone, web conference, or face-to-face meeting of some type. So in conversation with my colleague, they thought that the small visual icons in representation with the images helped them see maybe a broader understanding of what these building blocks would be in the learning environment. So the second billboard that I created was based on the building block in the learning model that occurs in person in the classroom, face-to-face, where the presentation is provided to the leadership team on behalf of the student. And I've included a few icons so they can see that from these images, the students are actually there to give a presentation on their interview, their feedback information, but also because of the type of building block, this is where we focus on the Q&A component, and where the audience, the leadership team in this case, has an opportunity to talk to the student and question the student about what they found in their learning, creating that building block to look like it does, which is a feedback block. So Those are the two billboards that I created based on the learning environment model from 6.2. Thank you.